2, 1.
Here we go!
All right, 5 o'clock on a Friday. Let's do this. Let's hit the books. Part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, producer extraordinaire Zach Phillips behind the controls. I am merely Brad Powers. Before we get to all your questions, concerns, and comments, before we get to some more best bets, we had a lot of them on Monday's show. If in case you missed it, how about 7 of them? Before we recap those and get into everything that is college football, let me remind everybody that, again, Hit the Books is brought to you by FanDuel. You can start off your college football season off with a win at FanDuel, because right now new customers can kick off the season with $200 in bonus bets. Just place any $5 bet. You'll get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. You can use your bets on spreads, live bets, totals, so much more. You can visit FanDuel.com/hitthebooks to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. You'll see them up as far as the odds screen here, as far as FanDuel. We bet the openers at FanDuel. Knish and myself, we're just betting a couple of the extra games that are available this week at FanDuel. So we love FanDuel. But disclaimer, you must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. In Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE New York, or text Hope New York in New York. Knish, what's happening, man?
You got that down to a science now. I feel like I'm listening to one of those radio ads where it's on like 3x fast. So no, that I tell you what, that was impressive there. And ready.
I just woke up from a nap. That's what happened.
Yeah. I BP energized. I tell you what, we're ready to go this weekend. You know what? Screw the any. I love the portfolio this week. I love it. Lines moving in our direction. Fired off runs. I love a couple of those plays. So you know what? I'm in. I'm in this week, baby. I'm feeling it. I don't know. I don't any. Yeah, we got. I mean,
there we go. Michigan minus 8.5. Market agrees. NC State threw a key number. Market agrees. Nebraska threw a key number. Market agrees. Totals hurting us because of weather. We'll see. Rain doesn't impact me that much, so we'll see in that one. Georgia Southern plus 3.5. Again, key number there. Western Michigan plus 5.5. Market agrees. Central Florida, love Central Florida. Again, key numbers, half points. Let's see if some CLV can actually matter for a change this week. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like a lot of those plays, and you know what?
I hope you like them. You are part of this show. You're giving them out as best.
Hey, listen, I got my money back in them. I like them. I'm trying. I usually, we're trying to go with I hate the portfolio. No, this week, love the portfolio. So I'm in, baby. Let's have a win, and a lot of big games this week. This feels like the first week where there's like. There's a couple of matchups that I'm like, oh yeah, we're ready to go here. I mean, I can't wait for the Bama Georgia, a couple other ones on that. So yeah, feels like we're getting into the prime time moment here.
I agree. I got a good feeling for this week. I don't want to jinx myself, but this is the best I've felt this week. So we'll see. We'll see if that translates at all. Let's get right to the chat, because you guys, we love the portfolio, but we actually love you guys. The questions, the comments, concerns, the chat is the star of the show. Garrett Watkins, first one in. Thoughts on A&M Arkansas? I like the Aggies earlier in the week, but at 6, leaning Arkansas at 6. I like Arkansas. What say you?
I'm with you. You know what? I agree that the early A&M numbers I would have thought were a little short. This is not a Texas A&M offense that I think can get a ton of margin.
Oof.
Yeah, I
Jump
know.
around because I like that 6 for some
Yeah.
reason. I you got to get that 6 because
Yep.
last I checked, in case you were sleeping under a rock last night, that all important key number of 5 came into play.
Yeah. I know 5 field goals and 5-6 field goals and you got it's in the play. So no, but I'm with you. I just what it's not a team that in Texas A&M that and Arkansas has been a little up and down, but they've had a few performances on offense that really that look pretty damn good here. And so I don't know. I don't love laying Texas A&M as a favorite, especially once you're getting to, a 6.5 was there for a minute. So yeah, I'm with you. If you can get a 6 or better, Arkansas is a side.
Best bet at 6. We can
At
track
6,
it other
yes.
books.
At 6, I know we can't. I wouldn't do it at 5.5, but at 6, yeah, because you're
All right. Best bet at 6 because we can track it other books. So we've been trying to overcome this, hand tied behind our back. There's enough 6s out there that we're going to track it at 6. So that is a best bet on Arkansas. Austin in the chat. Happy Friday, guys. Right back to you, Austin. Do you like Cincy plus 3.5 or as a money line play in the round robin? I didn't see them in the round robin, but that's a little bit of a teaser for later. The much anticipated round robin. I do like Cincy plus 3.5. That's a tout service play.
Yeah, I know. You liked it. I know the tent liked it. I know once it finally broke the 2.5 barrier, and there's a little buyback there.
Yeah, there was.
And
Be best betting at minus 120. I'll call it best bet plus 3.5. Boom.
Throw it in there. Yeah. This has come down. I mean, this was what did this open around 7 earlier in the week? At the circle.
Oh, that was a bad number. I didn't even get to that
I
one.
agree with you. My concern would be is Texas Tech getting a little healthier in a few places, and are we kind of buying the top on Cincy after last week? That would be my devil's advocate. With that said, I do think at better than 3, that's the side I'd play.
I'll own it. I'll best bet it.
Love it.
Here's one of my thought processes as far as the game. Change 2 plays, and here's the play. Obviously, Texas Tech, very fortunate to win in overtime against Abilene Christian. Say they lose that game. What's the line? Say Cincy holds on as they lead by 3 touchdowns over Pitt. That game has kind of aged well, to be honest with you, because Pitt's better than expected. Say they don't blow that lead. Change 2 plays. What's the line? Probably pick them. So there you go. Cincy plus 3.5 minus 120. We are rolling with the show. I'll own that one. So if it loses, blame me. Garrett also, Cincy or Tech? Yeah, we just said it. Cincy, best bet. Garrett also. Clemson looks great recently, but 21.5 seems a little rich. I wouldn't play it now, but I did bet Clemson. Tough cross-country travel for Stanford. I'm Mr. Stanford. We're Mr. Stanford on the show. We bet over the win total. That was an awesome win last week. They're not winning. They're probably not covering this week. I don't like it.
I mean, I think I saw they were having some travel issues too for this trip. Yeah, this seemed, and I will say, if you would have told me this before the season, before I've seen Clemson offense get into gear the last few weeks, I would have took this number and felt good that it was a slog. I'll give credit where credit is due. I mean, Clemson's got it rolling on offense for the first time in, I don't know, 3 years, that for a few weeks in a row. So does Stanford have the players to keep up here? I'm not with it. So this is one, even 3 weeks ago, if you would have told me 21.5 here, I think I would have took it. I've been a little bit on the Stanford season so far. I thought they'd get a little bit more of a bump, and Clemson, I mean, they've smashed a few teams again. But Stanford, again, they've smashed a few underwhelming teams. Stanford's an underwhelming team compared to the talent that Clemson's running out there. So, yeah, I don't think I want to get in front of that right now.
Mr. Mason Bryant, where do you stop buying Auburn? Go Hogs. I stopped buying Auburn now at the current number, and then they flip favorite. Definition when we talk cluster injuries, Oklahoma's wide receivers is the definition of cluster injuries. Top 5 wide receivers out. You got a quarterback making his first start. desperation mode, obviously, for Auburn. That's where the money's been at all week. Are you still riding, War Eagle? I'm in on Auburn. Do you fully trust them at this point? I don't. This is an all-important game. Go look at both teams' schedules. Loser it's looking like rough road to bowl eligibility.
Mm-hmm. I will say,
Uh-oh.
I think the only unit on the field that I think is worth a damn in this game is Oklahoma's defense.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And do I think I'm downgrading significantly with Jackson? Here's what I'll say. Do I think Oklahoma's offense, this is going to be like the UNLV with Sluka, where the offense is basically you're going to snap it to Hawkins and he's going to try and run around because they can't pass block for shit. They don't got any wide receivers. So could they ugly it up and win this game? Potentially. I would need a little bit. I need a little bit more meat on the bone to take some Oklahoma here. I don't think, no way we ever see a 3. If I get a little bit high, 2.5, maybe I just wait and take a live Oklahoma position. If Auburn scores first on that type of thing. But I know, I think if you haven't gotten on the Auburn train so far, I think you missed the boat. And the only way I'd be looking here is to get a little bit more of an Oklahoma number.
Well, you brought up the Oklahoma defense. Yeah, they turned over Tennessee. Didn't get any help from the offense. Offense just go, you know what? Thanks, Oklahoma defense. We'll just give it right back to Tennessee. I think they can turn over Auburn, obviously, because everybody's turned over Auburn. So, yeah, echo your sentiments. No best bet there. Guy asks, Washington has taken money. What do you think about Rutgers? What do you think?
I'm in at Rutgers at current. I bought some minus 110 pick this morning. I think there's minus 115 right around. I'm a little shocked that this has come all the way down that far. Where are you at on this? Because Rutgers money line minus 115 is a play for me.
All right, there you go. Best bet.
I'm in it. Yeah, best. I bet 5 cents different than that. So, and I'd still bet that number right now. So to me. You're telling me Washington on a cross-country trip at Rutgers is a better team than what I've seen? And again, Washington's been a little better than advertised, but I think this Rutgers team is pretty good here. And again, there's been money coming in on it, but at pick, I love it. I think this is probably, an ugly game, a game that lands right around, in between that 0 and 3, but this is one I think if you waited on, you got that money line at minus 115, that's a solid side.
Full disclosure, just so I don't get crap, I did take Washington on Monday, 3.5.
Yeah,
in my own portfolio, and that would have been probably a bet here at 3.5. So it just numbers matter.
Yeah,
I did not expect it to get this cheap, especially 4-letter word released at what 2.5.
Yeah.
So and what they released was Rutgers. So funny. Even some of the biggest market influencers. There is so much back and forth in the market. It's unbelievable. What are you hearing? Because I'm anxious to hear this. I ask around. Is there new groups, new money in here? Because there's peculiar movement, I would say.
Yeah, I would definitely say there's some new groups rolling around. I think there's also a lot more in the past of people buying on both sides or buying right across when a number gets a key. Like there's some, I've heard a group that's out there like on Fridays. Anything that's moved, if it's across the key, they're just buying the other side, like blind, like not really worrying about what's ever, just buying. If open 4.5, 5, and it's gone to 7, 7.5, they're buying it. So
the old tout service did a little of that today. So I did that a little bit today.
We're in a kind of a new era where it's like, in the past, sometimes you'd get one-way money all the way. Now, I just think there's a lot more market competitors. There's a lot more people using odd screens. There's people out there, just Arbin taking it. So, yeah, I just think it's very interesting. You definitely see a lot more back and forth, especially earlier in the week than you did in years past.
Eat that in the chat. Thoughts on North Carolina Duke over 56, Louisville, Notre Dame under 46, Fresno money line. Out of the 3, Notre Dame, Louisville under, I certainly lean there. Could be some weather. I certainly lean North Carolina Duke over. I bet that this week. I'm not on the Fresno money line train. I can tell you that.
So let's talk because here's the thing.
Oh, here we go.
Let's get into this one because this is the one that's got all the intrigue around it. Obviously, I've heard people that have takes as far as could be an upgrade, could be Malik Williams, the no downgrade, could be bolster the team in that. On the other side of things, I know this line's gone way back and it got all the way during the Salukin announcement. So I think Fresno -2 has come all the way back to UNLV -2.5. I think it could be a big loss. I will say, talent-wise, I don't think there's a significant amount of difference. Sluka just, he has some, like, I'm going to sound as cliche as you can get. The guy just knew how to make plays and win football games. And a couple of those UNLV games, their offense was like Sluka runs. I think he had over 200 yards in the game versus Kansas. So, like, there were a few games. Now, could he pass for shit? No. But there was a couple of games where, like, he did it at Holy Cross, too. They just would hike the ball to him, and he would make something happen. And I don't know, especially if you're a coaching staff and you saw those guys for 6 months and you went with Sluka. Am I going to see an upgrade here, Williams? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an upgrade. It could be an upgrade, certainly in the passing game. I think UNLV's best player, Ricky White, wouldn't mind getting the ball thrown his way.
I think he's tired of watching Sluka run around with the football and get 2 targets a game.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to see what that looks like. I don't think the market's told you it's not a big downgrade. And I agree that it's not a big downgrade at the very least. I think they rally. I like UNLV. I'm an idiot because I gave out UNLV prior to the news. But I can tell you this: after the news, I would have been giving out UNLV because I think it was close. It was close. I mean, you don't believe me that they had that they didn't have in the opening depth chart. They had the old school or between the guys, so it wasn't like Sluka slam dunk won the job. And I went to the UNLV spring game. I liked what I saw from Haj. I've watched Campbell games in the last few years. I like the kid. So he'll probably go out and throw 4 picks, but I like UNLV. I am part of the UNLV love there. And I could tell you this. I think the major reason why UNLV is 3-0 is actually the other side of the ball that no one's talking about. Their defense is legit. They have legit Power 4 conference transfers on each level of that defense. And I think that wins them the game tomorrow. Recreational player. Do we expect Cam Ward to pass for more than 314 yards tonight? Isn't there a little wet football in there tonight? A little bit of weather?
Yeah, a little bit of weather. Big number. I know they've been running it up. Looks like the total's kind of bouncing back, though, taking some over money here as we've been on here. I just saw a 55 flash. So I'm not on that tonight. I will say, but I'm not going to try and talk you off it because Cam Ward's been week after week after week. Did play some, you know what? I don't have the number. Did play some drones over on this one, passing yardage there. So I'm not. I got to check the sheet to see what number he actually played, but I don't think it was far off that. So yeah, I think drones. He's going to have to chuck it a lot. I think you're going to get some volume here out of him, if nothing else. So,
yeah, I didn't get involved. I see Blue Horseshoe likes Miami.
I
think
it's a Blue Horseshoe money line thing.
He gave out the money. Yeah,
he gave out the -800. Mind you, there was like 725 around.
Yeah, he gave out the money line. He gave out the point spread too when it was 17. So
that's a blue. So. I'll be
there's nothing that Virginia Tech's done through the first 4 games that makes me want to bet them, to be honest with you. Typically I would say Virginia Tech here, but nah. Don't love it. Charles in the chat, long time subscriber of the show. Already starting the slate with a win, and App State win totals voided. Yep, that was positive. Wasn't positive. I don't know what's going on though. I know it's a bad situation there, but as far as the weather, I mean, a bad situation on the field too. I'm not buying them in the future. I can tell you that. App State in the program. I mean, Liberty, this hurts them considerably. I know some people are like, "Oh, this was their biggest obstacle as far as making the playoff." it's still the obstacle because they didn't have that. They don't have that data point now. So, I mean, they need the other conference teams to have 2 losses. I'm talking Liberty's case. So that's not good news for Liberty. Our take on BC, Western Kentucky after the Castellanos. Did you hear this prior to Mr. Muscles today?
And it came out real fast. There was probably 15 minutes before it landed in one of the chats that he could be out. So I was kind of running to grab some, but I don't even know. I really didn't know the details behind it, other than a message come across that Tommy C was questionable. So where are you at on their backup?
I've seen them. I watched their spring game. If it hits 7, I will bet BC. I already have Western Kentucky. I bet Western Kentucky on the openers. I just got lucky on this quarterback news. I know Castellanos has been good. He can throw. He can run. The other kid played at FIU, has some experience. I thought he outplayed Castellanos in the spring game. So not a 6.5 point downgrade. So if it gets 7, I'm laying it. Not scared there. Playing the backup. And plus, Bill O'Brien, he coached quarterbacks. He knows what he's doing. Alex Steckel. Oh, no, let's get to Garrett first. I've heard nothing but Kansas State talk all week. Do you guys think Gundy will have Oklahoma State ready to play? I just think it's handicapping 101 has you on Kansas State. I mean, misleading blowout loss for them. Oklahoma State misleading final. Horseshoe thinks it's the best bet of the century. Kansas State money line, forget that all important 5. He said, no way, money line. Avery Johnson doesn't give me a lot of confidence, so that says that this is best bet of the week. So I lean Kansas State. I'm not like there because I'm that kid scares me.
I've played some Kansas State, not bet of the century. Just somewhere. Where are you at on the 5.5?
I wanted to lay a different number of Kansas State. It's just never really matched with me. I lean that way. I played a little cheap money line.
Yeah, I think they're the side. I agree with you. And Avery Johnson not being able, talk about one of the most overrated prospects of the last. They've been talking him up like he's something. Again, very athletic. I think that's where it ends. And Kansas State, that their skill position talent isn't what it was at some point. I don't love the players they have. Oklahoma State's been a little they've had a couple, elite performances and a couple that absolutely miserable performances. And pretty fortunate to be where they're at, I think overall. So yeah, unfortunately, I agree with the horseshoe here. Give me Kansas State. Not for my entire bankroll though.
You want them as the best bet?
At under 6, at under 6, I agree. That's what I mean.
All
I played 5.
So best bet that bad boy.
Yeah.
Another one. Eat it. Yeah, I don't mind if you want to stand up for it. I mean, I definitely think old school handicapping 101. That's the play this week. Alex in the chat's got an FCS question. Zach, see if you can pull this game up. I thought they pulled this game. Monmouth opened 3.5. It was just a bad number. Now 10.5. I didn't even see it. I still think it's good given Fordham as a corpse. I know it's FCS. Can we get a wink? Whether the 3.5 was just a bad line. If it's still up, I'll give you some extra on that one.
Yeah, I think this was
wow, they put it back up.
Yeah.
Do we want to be cheap as far as giving out best bets?
Well, I think maybe we'll do a show tomorrow, but I think you
don't want me to do anything? Okay. All right. Fair enough. So that shows you right there, folks. Even though we have a poor record, we are not going low and trying to pad the portfolio with FCS bets because there is a bet to be made there. JT Moon. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else. JT Moon. Joe, what's our player prop Friday night? Well, we did give you a best bet. I mean, come on. We gave you Rutgers. What else do you want? He said you bet a little bit of drones over passing yards.
Yeah, drones over passing yards. We didn't want to best bet it because I think the number moved a little bit here. What do I got? I know I've got a whole list that filled here. No, he's not. Is he up on? No, we just going the Michigan Minnesota game. Franchise really loved the Jackson and the Darius Taylor receiving overs, which I agree. If you looked last week, the Darius Taylor receiving over is not up at FanDuel. But with the pressure that Michigan gets, you saw it with the Woody Marks play last week. It's just dump off swing pass city to the running back against Michigan's front four. So that was a good one, but I know that Jackson numbers come up a bit. And Will Johnson, I don't know his status. They have been very quiet about that this week. Yeah, so he left last week's at the very end.
Yeah, he did. Good point. Good catch.
And then they said he could have came back if we needed him. Mind you, it was a 3-point game against a ranked opponent with the season on the line for anything you want to win. So I don't know why we didn't need him at that point, but it's been real hush-hush this week on him. So that'll be a pregame thing if he's out or not.
Oh, baby. Washington money line. Rutgers ain't shit. Huskies are tucking us in.
Well, that is what we like to see. I mean, perfect timing there. I mean, what else could you ask for than Rutgers money line parlayed with the Trent on Washington? So I'll take it.
I will say Washington's a little bit better than I expected. This year. I'm telling you, Rutgers is better than expected too. The Virginia Tech game, you think, oh yeah, they were the right side. No, they clearly were the right side. They should have won that game by 2 touchdowns. They blew like 3 red zone opportunities. I mean, they should have been beating them by 30 prior to the Virginia Tech comeback. So, no, I like our position there. Benny Heaters, Penn State, Illinois. Boy, I've gotten more questions on this game than obviously the big games. But as far as this one, everyone wants to be betting Illinois. That scares me on the dog. It does look expensive. It has prevented me from betting Penn State, but old school spot for me says Penn State. It's just that the line was never there for me to bet them. 16.5, I'd be interested. 17.5, no. Sneaky. I was just waiting on the weather clarification on the weather. I kind of lean over. I like Kotelnicki, obviously, as an OC, and Altmaier's improved, so sneaky on the over. Where are you at here?
Yeah, I got some 17. I played it. I agree with you that, I think Penn State Illinois, fluke win versus Kansas. Another fortunate win versus Nebraska in the game. And I get Illinois is a little better than I thought, but I think Penn State just absolutely rolls them. I agree with you. I like their offense. They're so far this year. And I think what Illinois is going to be able to do on offense against this Penn State D comes significantly down to earth here. So, yeah, I agree. A little bit of Happy Valley whiteout here. It's a late game where there's still some, I think, big-time home field advantage. I just think they get buried. So, yeah, wow. I'm with you on.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see the public gets involved on game day. Let's see where that one goes. So that's one we might best bet on tomorrow's show. What have we decided? We have to decide that right now.
Oh.
What game are we doing?
What noon game are we doing tomorrow?
We're going to do Michigan, Minnesota.
We
got Kentucky, Ole Miss, which is decent. Boy, movement in that game here today.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Michigan, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, BYU, Baylor. We got some games here. Maryland, Indiana, Nebraska, Purdue. We're doing Michigan, big noon box. We got to do it. I know you're going to be watching the game. It's an easy one for you. Yeah. Michigan, Minnesota. And, folks, unless you missed the Monday show, we got a best bet on that show. On that game, I mean. So, boom. Michigan, Minnesota. Breaking news. That is our halftime. Halftime of the big noon Fox game.
Big noon.
We'll see what we'll have there.
Let's go. Let's go to South Bend for a minute.
Okay, let's go to South Bend. What's going on there?
Well, no, so the sevens appeared, and I still think the Zach, pull up your diehard Fighting Irish man here. Oh no, it's back to 6.5 at FanDuel. Did you partake in any sevens?
I'm not at liberty to say. I've said on shows that actually I deep dive that game. I lean Notre Dame.
Even at the current.
I am a. You can clip this up. I am a pretty deranged individual when it comes to Notre Dame. I bet Louisville money line and Louisville +7, but I don't think it's like great value. So I'll happily lose those tickets.
I listen. I was going to pass all week. And then the 7 -110 showed up on my screen, and maybe I'm a sucker. Maybe that I'm a leprechaun sucker. Yeah, don't clip that up. But that maybe it's just they caught me with that one because I didn't think the 7 would show. I had to take it. So yeah.
Action Sports Central. Brad is betting FCS and not listening. Yeah, I was a little bit there. In the state of Ohio, that game isn't up, the Monmouth game. So I was not able to get down on that game because I know you guys are listening and I know you guys are going to bet something. So yeah, I apologize. I was for one of those answers. I was not listening to Knish. You guys are on top of that. I love that. Man, the game. We'll revisit. Keep in mind, there's still opportunity to give out Louisville +7. I'm anxious to see what happens. There's two things bothering me on the Louisville side. Number one, last week, my tout service gave out Louisville. We cashed a ticket with Louisville. It was completely the wrong side. In fact, the market immediately pushed back in front of me. I get market pushback, but not like that. Like I said, F you, your pick. We're going opposite. And they were right. Should have won the game outright. So it really worries me that Louisville blocked the field goal and returned it for a touchdown. Haynes King threw a backwards pass. It got tipped. Louisville recovered it for a touchdown. Louisville's long reception was like a goofy one that their wide receiver made. It was a great play by him, but that was kind of a fluke. So everything that they did last week was a fluke. Obviously, Notre Dame's got revenge. I mean, I watched Notre Dame too closely that I could just punch a hole in everything that they do. But I don't know. We'll see. They're bringing out the green jerseys. We'll see if that's a positive. I after deep diving it, I didn't like Louisville as much. With that being said, I took 7. You take key numbers. Come on. And how can you trust what you're going to see with Notre Dame? They can win by 3 touchdowns. They can lose by 3 touchdowns. Who knows what you're getting with that team? Enough of them. Kyle, first Heisman exposure was the Ewers 16-1. Anything else worth adding? You like the 16-1 on Ewers?
I'd like it a lot better if he was playing this week. Or going to like the latest health reports. What have you heard anything officially? Because the latest I heard,
I don't think he's gonna play.
I don't think so either. So
that's 2 games.
Yeah, you got no more margin if he's not going to play this week. That he basically I mean, you can't miss any more games. So thought he'd be back for this one. They're playing obviously the worst SEC team in 20 years here, so maybe they give him another week. But yeah, it's tough because you'd want him to roll up some stats in this game. So
thank you, Mr. Tent, and our 60 viewers.
Tent's clinging to a couple of
Boy, isn't he? He's did he light you up on Travis Hunter this week?
Oh yeah, Travis. He was, he's texting Big Cat. He's really trying to get the PR coming. We'll after Colorado loses by 4 touchdowns this week, then we'll see where Travis Hunter's at. But there's no one else really. Do you have any? Would you look at any Jalen Milroe? The Blue Chicken just mentioned.
Let's get to that game because we haven't even talked to that game. I mean, it's the biggest game of the year so far. Boy, I guess they talked about it a lot on part of my take. Hunter Heisman. Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Because
the losing hasn't even started, and there's still 7 guys ahead of them. The losing is going to start on Saturday. So he's like, you're really getting nervous. I'm like, I'm not getting nervous. I mean, if he wins it, then it's the old tip of the cap. I'm not going to have regrets. Are you for not betting it?
Well, during I think the first game I FOMO'd a little bit, but no, I mean, I don't think he's good. Right, you're buying, I think, the top of the market here if he goes, because they could lose out.
Yeah. Real quick before we get to Alabama, Georgia. I guess Louisville's flight got canceled. They're busing. That's not great.
No, that's not great.
I don't like that. So, because I mean, I like detailed. This is the plan. This is what we're doing, and then you got to sit in a bus, and that's oh well, it's not that far of a drive. Indiana's a bigger state than you'd expect, going from basically south to north. I mean that's like John said, 4 hours. That's not fun. So, I don't like that. What I do like is this Alabama Georgia game. Where are you at on this game? Because we just gave the tent a lot of shit, but I think the tent had a really good sneaky play this morning. Alabama flipped the favorite there for about 15 minutes. And I didn't text tent, but I texted one of my other buddies. I'm like, I'm going to tell you what, this holds a little bit. I'm releasing Georgia as a dog. I didn't expect to get them as a dog this week. Tent did, though. Good job, Tent. I agree with the play. I deep dive this game. I didn't expect. I went in like I got nothing on this game. After doing it, I'm like, I like Georgia in here. Where are you at?
I agreed with him. Yeah, no, I think he kind of bought the bottom there when I'm surprised it even happened that it flipped a favorite. And two, I just maybe they're a little bit again that Kentucky game. If you want to put it in your head, I do think that this year, and we talked about it a little bit, this year will be the year. Like I think DeBoer going forward might tip the scales back into the Bama. When they get there for one last year, though, I think Kirby keeps it on there. They got a little bit more of the physical team. I think their offensive line is better, so we'll see. But I mean, I don't begrudge anybody for taking DeBoer at home in this type of matchup. But yeah, once it flipped that way, Georgia on the money, the +1 or the money line there, cheap. I liked that play a lot.
Let's revisit that one on Saturday. Anxious. I think the public likes Alabama, believe it or not. So that's a game we might be giving out on tomorrow's show. Again, halftime, Michigan, Minnesota, big noon Fox. We might revisit that one, but I'm glad that you agree with the Georgia. That was a really sneaky play. Good job, Tent. That was literally right before. That was just a good job. And it's all market timing. It's taken 4 or 5 weeks for me to get the market timing, but I loved our market timing this week. With that being said, we got them half points around key numbers. I thought we took advantage of that this week. Hopefully it pays out. Nick, thoughts on South Florida Tulane? Byron Brown, good to go. He took some shots in the Miami game. I bet South Florida very early in the week. Would not bet it now.
Yeah, I think Brown, all indications, good to go. But yeah, I think the number has really gotten away here. If you were looking on the South Florida side of things, so yeah, it would need to even come down. I would only be looking. This is probably in the no play range. I would need
4.5.
Yeah, I know it's really come down.
Y'all don't want to know what I got early in the week. So yeah, that one was north of a key number. Yeah, I got Tulane's a little bit better than I thought. I will say that. South Florida, obviously, just got worn down in the 2 big games against Alabama and Miami. First half, they looked great against those 2 teams. Guy, yes, Utah -2 looks good. What's that mean?
Is he teasing that down?
Yeah, I guess so, with a low total. Where are we at here as the rising turns, as the world turns? Rising not going to play. I feel like the way the line's moving is the backup going to play. I'm leaning Utah at the current numbers.
Oh, like, you know 8? What? Oh boy.
Oh no, I forgot. This is we're not going to talk about it yet. We'll get to it.
But I will say this
I saw that on your text. I'm like, man, I hear you. There's some variance here.
Yeah.
Sell me it. You sell me Arizona right now.
I mean, so if you're coming off of where last week, where everybody was the rising's out, the offense is going to be miserable, yada. Utah gets the defense up. They get it rolling. Everything. They come up for the big game versus Oklahoma State. Then the next week, everybody, people on the bad judge, they're okay. Utah, they don't need it. They don't need Rising. They can win either way. This is one that I think assuming Rising's out and Utah, again, has a very, very limited passing game, that Arizona can cause enough here on offense to cause some problems for Utah, which, again, Oklahoma State could not do, and they got destroyed in the trenches. I think Arizona and the offense, it hasn't been, but I'll give I think there's a little bit of a variance in outcomes here. We'll say that Arizona might be terrible, but this is one. Also, there's 110 out there. I like this at double digits or better, but those seem to be pretty much all gone.
Tout Service gave out the under, so I'll refrain from the side and under for me. Zach in the chat. What do we think of the sneaky good game? Texas State, Sam Houston State. Texas State took some money today. The doctor was on Texas State. I'm not involved. Cider total on that game. That's like one of the 5 games I haven't really been interested. Texas State, I'm worried. Frame of mind, they blew the game, the all-important game against Arizona State. They did have a bye. Sam Houston State's been a wagon. They seem to get bet each week. This is the first time they have not been bet this season in the market. Where are you at here? It's keep in mind, neutral site. I think it's played at NRG Stadium. Texans.
Yeah, I kind of lean with the doctor here at Texas State. There was a real soft open, took some Texas State at a much different number, but I kind of agree with them under 10 here. This was a full. They had a lot of time to prep for this game here. We'll say that. So, sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes not. But I think you'll see Texas State come out and handle business here. So, for me, again, Sam Houston has been getting bet. I think this is a different playing field of team that Sam Houston's going against with this Texas State team. So,
agree. I think there's still hope for Texas State to no more room for error, though, for them after the Arizona State loss. Charles saw a lot of movement side and total in Mount Pleasant again, leaning towards under, but not sure I'm going to fire any further smoke. There's something going on there. Yeah, one of the old school guys I trust. I thought it was pretty peculiar. He brought up San Diego State to me several days ago. I'm like, huh? I was kind of thinking that too, because the power rating says this should be pick. And we've seen San Diego State money. Have you heard whispers? That was the first whisper I heard all week. And ever since that whisper was mentioned to me, it's been San Diego State money.
Yeah, that was one that got all the way to.
I might have touched 3.5 at a book or two.
Yeah, a few, but it was 3 just a couple days ago at almost everywhere, and it has been nothing.
Yeah,
but San Diego.
It was there.
And my thoughts on Central Michigan so far this season. Man, I don't know. The weather looks fine in Mount Pleasant tomorrow, so I thought that you'd see some, potential ramification from the storm coming up, but it looks okay. I'm not involved in this game so far, and I don't know if I want to be involved on a Central Michigan game ever again so far this season. But
it's funny, the Connor Stallion stuff.
I don't know. Yeah, there's some interesting, but San Diego State.
Oh my God, that offense is bad
so far this year. Really, and again, a couple weeks of prep, maybe you finally see the Sean Lewis offense get rolling.
I bet the under, but it's several points ago.
Okay, there's been nothing on the field that they've shot. And I know Central's had some wonky stuff, but they've looked good for periods of time. The San Diego State offense has just been miserable so far. We'll see if it gets going after a couple weeks off here.
I will say, I'm just not saying this. It was a very, very peculiar conversation. San Diego State was brought up. This is somebody that's not betting San Diego, any small schools. This is a guy that bets very big. Probably the biggest bettor I know. And it's obviously big bettors are more focused on the power games. For him to say that. And then ever since then, something's going on in Mount Pleasant. And again, I listened to what you said last week. That just had me. I don't want to be involved. Tommy Finn, Houston plus 15 or Wisconsin plus 14.5 or both. Boy, yeah, Iowa State took some money. Who's behind that? I didn't see that one. I am on the Wisconsin train.
I'm
head
not
to head.
I like the Iowa State. I agree with that move. I think that's the right move. I'm not in on Wisconsin with lock.
We need a head to head. What do you want to go head to head on?
You know what? I don't care. I don't care if it's it. Give him the hook. USC minus 14.
All right, there we go.
I'm laying it head to head.
Head to head. Boom. I'm in a good position. I'm not sure USC is any good. I need to see this game for SC.
You're not sure USC.
I got a sneaky suspicion. I don't know if they're good.
Wisconsin with their backup quarterback, who's terrible.
Nah, Locke's okay. Van Dyke wasn't nothing.
Oh,
he played against Alabama. Come on. Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
We will. Head to head. I like that. I'm glad I got something on that game. I agree. As far as I know you said you like Iowa State. That was a peculiar move. Was that 3-letter word on that one, or who was that? Do you know who moved that?
I don't know who that. Okay. Wasn't recognized as far as maybe it could have, but I don't think that was
Mr. Muscles gave out the under. That was a good play by him. I like the under. How does Houston score? Even though I say I lead in Houston. Oof. I mean, if they get more than 10 points, I'd probably be surprised. So that offense is atrocious. Is there still meat on the bone on the Indiana total for Charles? As far as the under, I know the weather's going to be. Look, I know it's going to rain, but I mean, how heavy is the rain going to be? I'm not seeing wind in these forecasts. This isn't old school grass fields where the drainage sucks and you got puddles and stuff, or the old AstroTurf where the puddles you can get, guys can, it's like the slip and slide. I need torrential rain to bet an under on a rain game. Are you agreement there? And then if there's lightning, they'll delay the game, wait 10 hours. For there to be no clouds in the sky. So I'm out on market. I'm pretty much out on weather unders for the most part.
I agree with you. I think you end up getting burned more times than not these days. They just don't play in really bad conditions unless it's like a Texas wind or something where it's like 40-mile-per-hour winds, but like that, like that, those type of games, I think. But the rain and like thunderstorm weather games, get out of it. Yeah, it'll be where we're gonna start the game at noon, and then at 8 o'clock when it's 60 and 0 mile, then we'll start playing again. So yeah, those are like totally dead.
You've had some controversial tweets on that. The lightning and stuff. It's funny. Actually, I've never said this publicly, but I agree with you.
How many people have actually gotten significantly hurt or killed in the last 30 years at whatever type of concert sporting event versus the number of people that have just get in, like people are going to go in there, get loaded and drive home. And then so it's like, but that we can have 100,000 people get like shit faced, and that's fine. But we got to stop the game for 8 hours because it's raining. Come on.
The only time I ever remember a lightning affecting, like hitting something, you can look this up. It's on YouTube. It hit Lee Corso's car in a Virginia Tech Georgia Tech game. Lightning hit it and like burned the car, the smithereens. So. They were ready to do the game. It hit that close to the stadium, and they never played the game. It was like 25 years ago, an ESPN Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech game. Look it up. It hit Lee Corso's car. Other than that, I mean, I don't know that it hit anybody at a game. Has it? We say that and watch it happen Saturday.
Yeah, I know. But now it's gone so far where, like, to me, unless it's a legitimate thunderstorm on top of the stadium, play the game. The lightning's 30 miles away, and it's like, we got to delay it for – come on.
I agree with you. They've gone overboard. Lucky
it's gone
Steak.
Way overboard.
Yeah, they have. I'm parlaying some of the best bets this week, and it's going to hit, I believe. Do you guys get fired up? Thanks for what you do. We always believe. I do like the portfolio this week.
Me too.
To say the least.
No, hold on. You
what?
Brad, how can you possibly even see this? I gotta just jump in. I went to find this video for you guys. You gotta look at this. Knish, come on. How are we seeing anything in here?
What do you mean?
Do you actually see the car on? Oh, that's the light.
Yeah, you'll see the car. Like it's like it's there. I don't know.
Brad taking this with a video recorder?
That's what I'm saying.
Like I don't
That's
even know
what
what
I'm saying.
I was like TV.
Well, I watched it live. I wasn't. I mean, I know it's on YouTube, but I mean, I watched it live. I was watching it back in the day. I wasn't betting it, but I was. I don't know. That is pretty bad. That's some old school video there. Oof. But yeah, I swear to God, like the video that I remember was like you see like a little ball of fire. I don't know. Whatever. I wasn't making it up. That did say leak.
I mean, it did. It looked like it did happen. Just not the view I was looking for there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we weren't. That was even prior to the HD TVs. I mean, that's a while ago. Yes. How about Miami to cover the 17? I did lay that this week. The wind or the rain or whatever kind of has me a little bit off. We bet the over. We need the over. We have a best bet on the over. Do you know that?
Yep.
Okay. We need the over. So I want Miami to score because I think they're the more likely one to score. So yeah, I'm with you there. Thoughts on the side and total in the Rio Grande rivalry, real barn burner, Charles Saul. Where you at there?
I don't. Give me where you're at there. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for the current line here.
I am not involved in that. I am not involved in that game.
I know we didn't. I think the line was across a key.
I am. I bet it as far as long. Does anyone want to hear that I have a New Mexico minus 3.5 ticket? No. What we had on the total?
I know. That's a New Mexico under a touchdown. I couldn't do it over a TD. That's what I knew this line went out and I was looking for the current. And I think they smash them. I mean, one of these teams I think has a legitimately good G5 offense. The other team has nothing. Like I don't think New Mexico State does anything well. So
best bet, New Mexico?
Not at 9.5.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Doctor likes New Mexico. He gave that out, I think, at 7. Again, it was, boy, I wish it would have held a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I didn't even get the original 3. Somebody hit me to beat that. I mean, it was gone within 30 seconds on Sunday. Late 3.5. Yeah, I think would not be surprised. I don't want to lay with the team when it was that early in the week. And plus, it is a rivalry. Let's see New Mexico win a game before they learn how to cover. But we need New Mexico for the win total over. Or no, did we give out under? Yeah, we gave out under. Well, I gave out over 1.5 on one show, under 2.5 on this show. So, because obviously it means a lot. I think we're in decent shape with under 2.5, to be honest with you. So this will be the only game they're favored in.
Yeah.
Garrett in the chat. No, let's go back to Charles. Michigan, Minnesota, the perfect game to take a midday nap. Well, don't wake up for halftime.
Yeah, I was going to set the alarm for half when it's 7-0 and Michigan wins 10-0 to cap it off. So, yeah, Chuck, don't go to sleep on us that early, baby.
Do you think, Garrett, that you think Kentucky can keep it within that number? Who's betting the Wildcats here? That moved considerably.
I don't know, but this is key. This is coming down. This is one of those Friday movers that's been coming down and down and down. I don't love that. I got to be honest with you. I thought 17 was pretty much.
I'm gonna tell you, if that's the opener, I'm betting Ole Miss on a Sunday. I'm just punching that in. Oh, should be 17.
You think it potentially?
Well, the problem is it's one of them noon games, so I would have loved to talk about it tomorrow, but it's already going to be kicking off.
I got to tell you, if I see even I can lay a 14 with some juice, I'll be buying. I might even be buying at current, but I doubt it pop. But that's one I'm just going to kind of keep waiting to see.
I totally agree with your thoughts. I expect Ole Miss to be in my portfolio. We won't best bet it because let's see what the news is. But it's funny, my portfolio, I don't care. Just bet it. Just bet it. Just bet it. I don't care. And when it's other people's money, I'm like, let's see. Maybe there's something to. Maybe there's something to the movements. Maybe somebody knows something I don't. But I'm telling you, if it's a Sunday morning and I see that line, in my opinion, should be 17.
Yeah.
I know they haven't played anybody, but I mean they've annihilated everybody that they played. And I don't think Kentucky can keep up. This isn't Georgia
so either. I don't think their offense is like. I know it looked more functional, but yeah, I'm not. Ole Miss has been like, and not only that, Ole Miss's defense. Now Memphis tricked me against Navy, and then maybe I'm falling for the Ole Miss trap, but against a bunch of bums. But Ole Miss's defense has been the difference to me. Where I think in years past they trade scores here, mess around, not cover for sure. They've got a few like PFF rated guys that are like top 5 in the country at a couple positions. Like we'll see. Well, this will be a good test to see if the defense, because if that defense is real deal and you want to talk about SEC championships and playoff runs, you shut down this Kentucky offense and you bury them.
Yeah, I like that. You're motivating the troops. I like it.
Yeah, Lane, no. Let me talk. Let me go into the locker room.
Yeah.
Lane's probably out with 4 blondes here. I need to go in there and fire him up.
Yeah, I hear you though. Yeah, if they are legit, that you're not messing around with this Kentucky offense. They're not putting 17 or 20 on you. Cotter in the chat. Michigan State plus. Oh, we haven't talked this one yet. Michigan State plus 24. Ohio State closed 14.5 last year at Wisconsin. How can you get to 24 at East Lansing? Ohio State's better than last year's team. I can tell you that. Yeah. Michigan State's not as good as Wisconsin from last year. Childs can't turn the football over. He's turning over way too much.
It is a roller coaster.
Did you bet Michigan State this week? I think you did, didn't you?
I bet a little 24.5. I think the argument here is that the state defense is definitely better than expected. And I like Joe Rossi and what they've done on defense, even with guys that I don't think they have a ton of NFL talent, but they
got some guys though. They got some good college players.
Yeah. I totally agree with you there. They run the Super Smith, the Jonathan Smith tempo, very slow, methodical. I agree. You know what? I will say, for a team that I think has been much better than expected, locally, Childs is taken a little heat from how erratic he's been. And supposedly they really ponied up. So there's a big radio host here who does like the drive time show, who's a Michigan State alum, who was like just like killing him.
Valenti?
Yeah. Valenti was just smoking Childs all week, especially on that. I'm not, I guess maybe if I'm a State fan, I was going in this thinking like we were going to be a 3-4 win team, and like the team's been competitive in a lot. So I don't know. I'm not there yet. I think Michigan State's okay. Now, maybe this is just like a total level above their head. But I don't know. I like that.
That's a night game, right? So we'll talk about that one more tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you're on the YouTube rabbit hole looking at Lee Corso's Lightning, got another one for you. Valenti rant, 2006 Michigan State Notre Dame.
Yeah.
All-time rant.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's going almost 20 years ago. All-time rant. Michigan State, Notre Dame, Valenti rant.
Is that God? Oh man, we're old. Is that really? Yeah. Was that really almost?
Yeah, that was.
I remember that like it was yesterday. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 18 years ago already. My goodness, it's an all-time rant. Charles Saul. Yeah. Florida State under first half. Under. I like that double. Looked like they didn't quit last game, but I do worry it was maybe rally the troops effort for Norvell. Offense still pathetic. See Mr. Muscles like the under in that game. Where are you at there? Seems too easy for me.
I didn't, I wasn't dying to play it. It actually has come up a bit since open.
I'll tell you what, the first half spread, I'd lean Florida State plus 4.5. Where you at there?
I think I would too. I bet some SMU at a number, 3 points cheaper. So but at the I laid SMU minus 3.5, and the first half spread right there is 4.5. So
yeah,
I'm with you.
I raised your 3 points of CLV and how about 15.5? I bet this on the game of the years. So, hey, first half, I'm taking Florida State plus 4.5. I'll just say that. I won't best bet it because you're on the other side. I'm kind of.
I mean, listen. I like to play at 4.5. I think it's the only 4.5, even though it's a little juicy. It's the only 4.5 in the market. So
yeah, that's boy, in a low scoring game. Best bet it. Forget it. I mean, that's just something that popped out to me. I mean, if I just saw that, messing around, I making a bet. I'm just being honest. I'm betting that. So
yep. No, I'm with you. I agree with you. That just one of those. It's a number that's hard to pass up.
Yeah, plus 4.5 first half. Florida State minus 122. A little juicy, but I was kind of surprised to see that. Look at that. It's good because he's getting in there trying to get that. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I'm gonna bet when Joey K is
when you see us messing with our phone. We're not. We're betting. Folks.
It ain't for a show, folks. Yeah,
no. We're not.
It ain't just a hobby.
Texting pictures to our girlfriends and stuff. I mean, we're betting because we know you guys move the market, so we're making sure we're in on this. Robert, late 26 with Memphis, and just 2 minutes. We're gonna get to the money line round robin. Late 26 with Memphis or weather an issue. I can't lay 26.
Swear to God. I know one they'll absolutely roll after last week. 20. Yeah, I can't do it either. I think now can Middle replicate anything that Navy does on offense? No, but their offense has shown a bit of a pulse, and maybe it was just a bad matchup for Memphis on that, but the defense that I thought was significantly, improved, got absolutely shredded last week. So no, I can't get to the number here. Especially, but I mean, it's been one-sided money. It's just, 24 that there's some 26 and a halves out there.
Somebody beat me on the openers. I didn't get there quick enough. Wanted that and didn't get there.
Nothing special.
I think they're the right side. I could see them. I kind of like the under, but I think this could be total whitewash blowout. So trust me, nothing special is happening in Murphy. Yeah, they haven't covered a number yet. That was a bad hire by Derek Mason's a bad hire.
Yeah, that was a really bad hire. I don't know what about his Vanderbilt and you made you say, like, let's go get this guy.
Well, yeah. Oh, they made a bowl game or two. I mean, what? Well, no. Any love for BYU, John, in chat, plus 3.5?
Yeah, I bet that.
Is it part of the parlay? Let's just get right to it.
That's why he's a professional, folks. What a teams are there. Zach?
I was reading ahead. Sometimes if you see me not paying attention, I'm reading ahead. I'm trying to make this.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zach, we're going. All right, 14 money line round robin, baby. BYU is in there against a Baylor. No, I don't think. Am I super bullish on either of these teams? No, but I think now at that price, threw them in there against a Baylor team I don't think is really any good. Arizona was the one earlier. I know BP doesn't like it. I think variance game, high variance game. Cam Rising is either going to. We're not going to play that game for the millionth time. People are already betting it here, but it's already lost sense on BYU as it's going. But listen, I know Arizona hasn't looked particularly well. I think in a game, you're not going to get Cam Rising. We've talked about this in a number of different games throughout the show. When you cannot pass the football, you lead yourself into games that can be competitive that shouldn't be competitive. And so if I'm going to expect that it's not Cam Rising, I don't like Utah's offense. I think Arizona could be, when they lose by 60, you control me on it, a little live there. Zach, scroll her down a bit before this is 50-1. Akron, nobody loves a MAC money line more than Joey K. These games, unless it's Bowling Green, there shouldn't be a favorite. These games should all be plus 100. In the Battle of Ohio, give me Akron at that price. I think they've been better than advertised. Ohio's been a little bit more lively too. They haven't dipped as much as thought, but I think Akron can stick around here. The offense has shown a bit of a pulse. The defense hasn't been great, but I I love taking, MAC teams again, when there's not a huge talent disparity in a lot of these teams. A 3-1 money line, 275. You could throw Akron in there, and return to the MAC, a campus that's near and dear to my heart. KZoo, baby, going to Marshall. Even though BP told me that Stone Earl was out for, he was dead. I think he's in.
Yeah, he's in. It was cramps.
Yeah. I still like Western Michigan in this game. Just in general, don't think Marshall's particularly great, and we're getting Western in a pretty good spot here. So there it is, 14 money line round robin. Price is crashing as you speak. Get it in there. Let's keep it. Last week only 2 of 4, but hit the 2 big ones, so you made some money if you took it. So we need a 4 for 4 this year. We've gotten close. A couple 3 for 4s, a 2 for 4. Give me a 4 for 4 this week, baby.
Couple things. I apologize for the Marshall, but if you clip that up, I did say, it was on one of my TVs. I just know he left. He did leave the game. It was cramps. I thought it was a concussion. So I apologize that it's not significant injury.
I like the side regardless.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Also, I got to ask you, because big money on Akron. What's the deal there? Ohio's quarterback out?
There's some rumors in the weeds there.
Okay.
Again, here's what I'll say. Mac getting the legitimate Mac info is like getting, the JFK assassination information, because there's not a lot of people covering these teams. I've heard it as well. Do I have confirmation? No, but we'll see.
And unlike that idiot, what's his name? Worked for ESPN, the Action Network. We're not going to post the Zapruder film when we get that Mac info. Remember when he did that? It was like on a Thanksgiving morning. He just tweets it, 7:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That guy. Won't even name his name. Let's just get to a couple more. Then we're going to close it out, folks. Speaking of BG, did you do anything with BG Old Dominion game?
I've heard ODU has some quarterback injury issues from people close to the program. So I think that's why you've seen that get that back to 10 and up through 10.
Okay. So, yeah, they had the quarterback miss the Virginia Tech game, but you're saying that's continuing. It might be even worse.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think that's what drove
there you go. Mac info, tying it together. Some Mac info, Akron, Ohio. A Mac team playing, at least ODU.
Not to mention Bowling Green, the best Mac team in 25 years. So, BG, baby. I can't wait till Mac play to get this. Who they open with in the – I can't wait for this Mac season. Also, have you seen – you know what? Give me old man in my rocking chair here. I still love college football. I still love the game. I still love betting on it. I still love watching it. Everything off the field with this effing sport.
Yeah, I agree.
Now. Like, come on. I mean, not only the guy quitting the team, for getting stiff for his NIL money this week, but now the Mountain West trying to poach MAC teams and whatever.
That'll hurt me bad if they left.
Like,
that would really hurt me.
I mean, I don't know.
Once you get to the game, I can watch it on TV or actually be there in the stadium. All the little traditions and stuff. It's like Americana. It's just all the little peculiars. I love it. Small town America, big cities. It's just all different, coast to coast.
Cities, great.
Yeah, blue states, red states. It's everything. But I just the constant cash grab on everything involving it. I don't mind the players getting paid. I don't mind all this, but it's just 24/7, everything about money. It's just like, it ain't all about money for me. It's for the love of the sport. I love this. You think I want to, I love grinding college football. I do it for less. I would. I do it for less. It's called hit the books. No, I'm joking.
No, I'm with you, but I'm totally with you. But man, I'm so sick of seeing like a STAML notification. It's like, oh, Fresno's in talks with the Pac-12. It's like, fucking Christ, dude. Like, this has been going on every week for years. And give me some. I mean, get some. I mean, now, well, if Portnoy starts paying the best QB in the country, $3 million a year, I'll have less complaints. But I mean, I'm just like, it's. Get some like this collective shit is so stupid. Like, hey, let's go beg our donors to then have a third party pay the kid with no contract. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe they pay him. Maybe they don't. Like, get the fuck out. Just put like give the revenue sharing or something. So yeah. Let's go back to the game. We're off the boat here. But I'm just
sometimes when we're at our best.
I'm just fucking sick.
Hear you.
I'm sick of hearing every week. Like I still like, as you said, still like the games, still like the sport, still like watching it. Way better product than the NFL right now. The NFL, which is like, the total's at 35. It's like watching Michigan, Minnesota every week. But off the field, holy shit.
Yeah. I echo those sentiments. Toledo or Northern Illinois left the MAC.
For the
Mountain
West.
Yeah. To the Mountain West. Why couldn't Oregon State and Washington State and the Mountain West just come to an agreement and just boom, that's your new conference?
And then it's like Stanford, Cal, you put that, like if they weren't locked in the ACC, you put them back, you grab a few team, Mountain West, and then like boom, you're done. You got the Pac-12 back. Now they got to poach from the Mountain West, and the Mountain West got to go run and grab the MAC.
Don't like it.
No.
What I do love is the portfolio. You got any closing thoughts?
Let's have a week, baby. I you know what? I especially the early week stuff. I like a few of those. And you know what? Maybe at 12:30 tomorrow, I'll be doing this from the floor in agony, but
it's possible.
It's possible, but keep firing, baby. I like it this week. And hell of a way to go out there with the state of the game. So yeah.
Oh, I'm all for change too, but I feel like everything's changed within like 3-4 years, and I'm just like, I expect to feel this way at 60, not 40. So man, I hope they reel in some of this stuff and at least get some set rules and regulations, because it does make it like with so much uncertainty. If I got to worry about game 4 or 5 every year, okay, they've already played 3 or 4 games. They can still redshirt. Do I even bet this week? Somebody might sit out. I don't know. Did somebody get paid? I mean, how can you factor that in? Man, that pissed me off when I heard that news.
When I got the news, so our mutual friend of ours texted me the news before it was public, and I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way Sluka, who's like the diehard, like, I was like, this year, I was like, maybe it's the backup that quit. I was like, you can't. And he's like, no, like, I think this is real. And then and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Over $100,000. Unbelievable. Over $100,000. Did you see Derek Stevens offered to pay him?
Yeah.
And UNLV said we are not dealing with them.
What? I mean, I guess maybe you can't walk back quitting the team, but
we don't have the full story yet, so I'm not going to point the fingers. I will say this. I get it. What would you want to work if you're not getting paid?
Right,
I've been there. I have worked.
Straight.
I have worked not getting paid before. So I guess I'm old school. I mean, when you're supposed to be the leader, you're in the middle of the season. I think you suck it up. And if $100,000 means that much to you, I mean, think about if UNLV goes like 12-0, the money, the endorsement deals and stuff you get. I mean, you're not, worrying about buying a steak dinner at the Win anytime soon. Come on, sometimes you got to think long term, So that one hurt. Tangent over. Old man rant over. That is it for today's show. Keep in mind, we'll be right back with you guys less than 24 hours. We're doing the halftime of the Michigan-Minnesota game. In case you don't know, it's called the Little Brown Jug. It's a big game. We have Michigan. We're laying the points there. Let's see a little bit of a passing attack to get to that number. Might not need it, though. Might just run over Minnesota like Iowa did in the second half. So we'll be back with you guys then. We appreciate your questions, your comments, your concerns. For the man, the myth, the legend himself. Oh, we got to recap bets. I'm sorry. Zach is right. Let's recap bets.
Yep.
So tonight, Rutgers -115. That was on today's show. We're taking some money line there. Michigan -8.5. I was already talking about it. That was on Monday's show. We got some CLV. NC State, key number, CLV, 6.5. Love it. Kansas State was today. Yeah, it's just handicapping 101. And the big dog, Mr. Blue Horseshoe, loves Kansas State. Nebraska -9.5. CLV there. Over, no CLV because of the weather. I'm not throwing it totally in the trash yet. Miami Ohio played 3 really good defenses. This is a major step down in class for them. Georgia Southern +3.5. I got to be honest. I'm not wild about that one, but we got a key number in a rivalry game. Western Michigan plus 5.5 CLV. UCF. I love UCF. UCF was a tout service play today at 13.5. Love that play. Arkansas plus 6. Guess what? Tout service play today. Love that play. Boy, Florida State, that looks really good. That first half play plus 4.5. That'll be 14-0 2 minutes in. But I like the value of that one. I don't think that was widely available. So we're playing an off-market number there. And Cincinnati plus 3.5. Guess what? That's a tout service play. And there we go. I wish I had Oklahoma plus 8.5 against Auburn, but that's for a Texas game that's not going to have CLV, folks. I'm just I'm letting you know. No CLV in that game.
On that one.
That's going to be a touchdown worse. So, all right, that's it, man. You got any closing thoughts? I thought you were A+ today.
Hey, good show. Yeah. Wait, Rice coming down to 5. Do we want to add one late one with Rice?
Negative, Ghost Rider. Negative, Ghost Rider. The portfolio's full.
Yeah. Portfolio's locked. Can't add it. So yeah, Chuck. I don't blame people for betting against them. I'll say that.
Yeah. I can't believe we're seeing 5 there. My goodness. I think you will be betting Rice.
You know it. I'll be betting some Rice before the game starts. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I've lost so many. I'm gonna go. I should just be martingaling Rice every week. They got to cover one time.
For the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, producer extraordinaire Zach Phillips, and all your questions, comments, and concerns. You guys are the A++ stars of the show. That'll do it as far as Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel. We'll see you tomorrow.